Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Delivered Social podcast. I'm very happy to announce that we've got Nathan Ashmore in the podcast studio today. Over 400 appearances in the National League. Nathan, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, mate. It's nice to see you.
Long time no see.
Thank you for inviting me for this podcast. I've been looking forward to it, to be fair.
Okay, so I think most people that watch it will know who you are and what you do, but can you give us a quick introduction into the world of Nathan Ashmore?
Yeah, sure. So I play football for Boreham Wood. I've been playing football now ever since I can remember. I've had various clubs, been at Gosport, been at Ebbsfleet, been at United Services Portsmouth when I was a really young kid, played at Portsmouth as a youngster, and then obviously went to Gosport, Ebbsfleet. Now I'm at Boreham Wood, had a loan stint at Maidenhead,
Okay, right.
Few clubs.
So let's get through when you were starting off then. So, young kid starting off as schoolboy at Portsmouth.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Come about when I was really young, watching videos of like my idol was Peter Schmeichel. I remember watching.
Incredible goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's a joke. Still to this day, I still think he's still one of the best keepers, even in today's football, where keepers tend to pass out from the back and they're very good on their feet. But I still think he could probably still play today. And he's produced, and like his son, Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, another great goalkeeper.
Another great goalkeeper. So for me, I remember watching one of his games and I saw this one save and I was just like, Mum, I want to do what he done. And ever since I can remember, I've just been wanting to do that. Tried that, being in goal in primary school, and I just thought, I'll go in goal because no one wants to be a keeper, do they? Like everyone gets picked, and then someone's like
somebody gets stuck in goal.
Someone gets stuck in goal, and it's normally like the person who's the most useless at football gets stuck in goal, and no one wanted to go in goal. So I thought, do you know what? I'll try it, and then. It turned out I really enjoyed it, and then like kids were like, "Oh my God, you're really good in goal and can't score past you." And I basically got a boner over it. So
great way to put it.
Yeah. So that was at primary school, and then I decided that's what I wanted to do, and basically I've just been thinking straight like that's all I ever want to do, and just build on, and then. Started off playing in golf the community service with Portsmouth, around the community services around Portsmouth, and then they used to do a game against Portsmouth Excellence at the time.
Okay, yeah.
When I was really young, and obviously we were just kids that used to pay to go and train in these community centres, and then they I think it was once a year you play against the actual Portsmouth of Excellence, and I remember. Playing against them, we got battered. I think the score was 9 or 10-0 or something.
Were you in goal for that?
Yeah, I was in goal. Yeah, but lucky enough, I still had a good game. Conceded so many goals, but I was the only one out of the team to get picked to go and play for.
Wow.
Portsmouth Centre of Excellence at the time. It wasn't academy. Portsmouth wasn't academy back then. And then that's how that started. So I think I must have been about 9 or 10. So I played for Portsmouth Excellence for a good few years. It didn't work out for reasons I don't know. Just got released from when at the end of the season. I can't remember how old I was. I think I might have been 12 or 13, I think. And then I thought my word was over. Pretty much stopped playing football. And then I was away one time and I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go. And I saw someone, and I was just thinking, that shouldn't have been me. So I just went back. I went back because I went on pitch first, thinking, I'm not going to make it as a keeper, so I'll go out on pitch. And I was all right, but I think it's because I was bigger than everyone else. And,
I mean, you were more than all right. I remember that point when I think we must have been year 7 or year 8 when you were released to Portsmouth, and I remember you're like, I'm not playing in goal.
Yeah.
And you came out of goal and then you were on pitch. You were always a strong built player. You had a hell of a powerful shot as well. So you were more than all right.
No accuracy whatsoever.
No accuracy, but could blast it from 2 yards into a net. But you were a good player. There's no doubt about that. And I reckon even if you did carry on that path, you probably could have. You probably could have made it to play on pitch.
Yeah, but I don't think I would have made it on pitch as high as what I am as a goalie though. And I kind of realised that. and all I wanted to do was just play in goal. But I just needed that little bit of luck. So I went out and trialled at United Services as a player. I actually played for a reserve team as a right midfielder, and then I went away and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to go back and I want to be a keeper. So I went back as a keeper.
Did they know you were a goalkeeper beforehand?
They did, yeah, they did. But I was like, I'm not going in goal. Not going in goal.
Yeah.
They had like a couple of reserve keepers there anyway. But then something just switched. I don't know what it was. Something just switched, and I just thought, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it, try and give it everything. Come back, and then I end up making a reserve team in goal. We played. I think we played. It's funny because we played a reserve team game. I think it was Horndean. Was it Horn? I think it might have been Horndean or something like that. United Services reserves versus Horndean reserves, and the first team were playing straight after us. They didn't have a keeper. Okay. I literally just played a reserve game. And they asked me to play for the first team straight after. And I said, no, I've just played a game. Like, I'd rather not. And then I thought, have I missed my chance there? Maybe I should have done. But obviously playing 2 games one after the other is a lot.
Yeah.
So I turned it down. I said, no. And then literally about 3 months later, I played really well for the reserve team. I remember playing in a cup game for United Services, and we played against Wimborne Town, and we actually were allowed to play on the pitch, and I had a really good game that game. And then the manager of United Services, Bob Brady, top bloke,
legend.
You know Bob as well, don't you?
Is he still down there? Is he?
No, he's not the manager anymore. He's still part of it a little bit, but
there's no way you could get him away.
No. He's a top bloke. If anyone knows Bob Brady, he's an old Navy. He was in the Navy, and the top bloke. He'd do anything for you, and he just loves it. He absolutely loves it. And I think he was at the game, and I think a couple of weeks later, I ended up joining the first team of United Services, and my first ever game was against Handover New Street, and we won 2-0. And the lads were unbelievable. I was only 16 at the time, so I'm 16, and I'm playing in a men's football team, men's first team. And a
lot of them were veterans as well. They played a lot of games.
Because obviously United Services linked with the Navy, so we used to get a lot of Navy guys who weren't deployed and they were based back home, and they used to come in and play. So we're talking, I'm a 16-year-old in showering with grown men and being involved in grown-up banter.
Yeah.
But they really, really did. They did so well to make me feel like I was part of them from the first day, and I really did enjoy my time there, and I ended up playing there for 2.5 seasons at 16, so I think I left at 18, 19, and then went on to Havant, but I learned a lot there, to be honest, learned a hell of a lot.
Okay, fast forwarding on to Havant Waterlooville then, what was that like? Did you feel like once you sort of made that step, you're like, okay, now I can kick on?
Yeah, for sure, I thought that, I really did. I knew I wasn't going to go straight in. I was 19 at the time, 18, 19, just signed my first professional semi-pro contract, as you will, actually getting paid money to do something that is every boy's dream, isn't it?
Yep.
To play football and get paid for it. I was actually on £50 a week.
Wow. How was that?
Well, yeah.
That's less than minimum wage.
Yeah, I know, it's bad. It sounds terrible now.
Yeah.
But
at the time, you're buzzing.
At the time, I couldn't believe it. It was like Christmas every day. So I was getting like £200 a month.
Yeah, wow.
But then I was also getting EMA money. So,
from college, yeah.
So I was getting like 30 quid a week from EMA. So it actually tops up all right. So I thought I was the best thing ever lived. Like, I'm getting paid for football. I'm doing this, doing that. But the first year was a learning curve because I knew I wasn't going to play. I did play a few games. I played a few cup games, and then I played a few league games, which it was tough because you go from an environment, like I said, at United Services where you had to pay subs to actually play. So everyone had to pay £5 to play.
Yep.
So from going from that to Havant Waterlooville, where players are getting paid stupid amount of money, we're talking, I don't know, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, and players were getting paid £850 a week, £900 a week, plus travel expenses and bonuses. and I'm on £50 a week, and I'm a youngster. So the first year was a great learning curve. I'm talking proper banter in the changing rooms. It took me a while to adjust because it's completely different. It's a different environment when you pay to play and get paid to play. So it's a completely different environment, and I learned a hell of a lot my first year. And then my second year, the keeper left from the first year. And then the manager at the time was like, he brought in another keeper, and we both got the squad number one. So I don't know I don't know if he was planning, talking crap to me, making me, I'm going to be number one and he's going to be number one, and you've both fight it out. I don't know, but that was a little bit weird. And then I didn't get picked. He did. Which is fair enough. I'm still young. He was more experienced keeper than I was as well. And then I played a few games that season, and it was the third season. I managed to start the first 4 games. I can't remember what the 4 games, but I remember we lost to Salisbury 4-0, and this is when Salisbury were good. They had, who they have? Matt Tubbs. They had Matt Tubbs in their team, and a good player. Played in the Football League numerous times. And yeah, they were paying good money for players, and we got battered 4-0. And obviously, considered 4-0, like it wasn't a great game. The things that I did do were okay, but they were just far superior than us on the day. And then I got dropped, and then I didn't really know how to take that because I'm still a young kid. Don't really know. I've never really been a first team keeper. Not really been dropped because I've been playing since I was 16. So it was hard to take that. So then I kind of had an argument with the manager. Why is he playing? Why am I not playing? So I kind of went about it the wrong way. And
is that from experience though? Would you say that's because of how young you were at the time?
Yes.
Do you still do that now?
No, I don't know because. Now it's completely different. Like I've just been on a goalkeeping weekend with the goalie coach that I'm with now, and he's got goalie camps, and this is the kind of stuff that we talk about because there's a lot of young lads on the camp, and this is the kind of stuff that he wants to get them to know. Like you've got to try and word things. Like you've got to massage the manager. At the end of the day, is the manager. He picks the team. He's the boss man. Except the chairman, he's the boss man. He's in charge of your career in a sense. So you've got to massage his ego. I didn't know that when I was 18. I thought I was the dog's bollocks. I should be playing. He shouldn't be playing. Why is he playing? Why am I not playing? It's the totally, completely wrong way to go about it. So I just thought, right, I want to go out on loan then. If I'm not playing, I want to go out on loan. And then he was like, a couple of weeks left. He started moaning at me a few things, and I was answering back. It's the wrong thing to do, but I was hurt because I wasn't playing. And he said, I'm playing this, I'm playing that. And I felt like I didn't get a good bite of the cherry. So I was a bit annoyed. So then he went to me like, you can go out on loan to Gosport for the whole season, or you can go out on loan to Bashley for a month. And I just wanted to get out there, and I just wanted to play games. So I just said, I'll go to Gosport for a month, go to Gosport to the end of the season. And I decided to do that. But at the time, Havant were playing in the Conference South. But Gosport were playing 2 leagues below in the Southern Div 1 Premier League, whatever it was. And they were in mid-table. And I was just like, yeah, I'll go out there. I knew a few players already there.
Yeah.
So I just took the gamble. And then luckily it paid off because we got promotion. We stayed up in the Conference South, and then we made the FA Trophy final.
Yeah, at Wembley. You played at Wembley as well. Yeah. There's some top class players who've not played at Wembley.
Yeah, so. I know. Like you can go. There's even Premier League players that have not played at Wembley, and you can go for your whole career and not played at Wembley. It's a little bit easier to play there now because obviously the semi-finals there.
There's so many games now.
There's so many games there now, and every time there's a cup final, it's always at Wembley, or semi-finals always at Wembley. But obviously back in like years ago with the old Wembley, it just to be 2 cup finals, FA Trophy. FA Vase was at Wembley, and FA Cup.
Yep.
And that's all. Possibly the League Cup, I don't know. It might have been at Villa or may not, I can't remember. So now it's much easier, but you still get players now that's never played at Wembley.
No, that's incredible. You could say you've played at Wembley.
Of course, I want to play there again. I've been close a few times, not quite it, but I do believe I will play there again.
Amazing. So there's the other bit I wanted to get back to, because you spoke about being let go from Portsmouth. Portsmouth did, I'm not going to say it, they did mess you about quite a lot when you were a kid. There's a point when you went back and David James was there and you were training with David James, Asmir Begovic, when they were in the Premier League. What was that like, going back again and experiencing training with, what was David James was, number one goalkeeper for quite a few years for England as well?
It was great experience. It was hard because I don't know. It wasn't really a trial. It was just, I don't know if I got fed the wrong information or it was just like, come and train with us. You're not going to get anything, but come and train with us. I don't know what it was, but I just saw it was a great experience. Like I said, like Portsmouth are playing in the Premier League. They were absolutely flying. Like you said, it had David James, Asmir Begovic. It had Jamie Ashdown. They're three top keepers. And this is when Asmir Begovic was really young.
I remember, actually. I remember you telling me.
And I remember telling you.
This guy's going to be...
And I said it, do you remember?
I remember you saying that, yeah.
And no one really knew who he was.
No, because he was young then, wasn't he? He was unknown, completely unknown.
And I remember having a conversation with you. I said, mate, this keeper at Pompey, he's a joke. And I said, trust me, he will go somewhere. And look at the career he's had as well. But yeah, like it was good experience. Again, nothing ever happened. I trained and then it was got like, no, not quite for you or whatever. It always wasn't meant to be. So I was just like, I'll just leave it and then just carry on with what I was doing, go and haven't, and then back to Gosport again.
Yeah. And something I wanted to touch upon as well is whatever club you've played for, the fans have loved you. Like they have absolutely adored you. When you go to a club, do you have that in mind, or is that just a fluke? Because there must be something you do to gain their trust. Because fans can be the best and also the most vilest creatures in the world.
No, you're right.
So how does that happen? Because everywhere you've gone, you've been loved.
I don't know, mate. I don't know if it must be something to do with my personality. I don't know. Like I try and play every game like as if it's my last, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I tend to play with everything. And I think fans can relate to that. I don't know, but like you said, like I've been at Gosport and I got players play there, fans play here a few times. Then moved to Ebbsfleet and got player of the season a few times. Fan play. I think one of three players to only do that at Ebbsfleet. I think I got it 3 times in a row, or 2 years on a trot. I can't remember. And then obviously the same at Boreham Wood. I don't know. Like when my job is just to go there, enjoy my football. Anyone that wants a picture, I'm not one of those ones. It's like no, I'm going in or whatever. I try to tend to take my time, say hello to everyone. If kids want pictures or want an autograph or whatever, or sign something. If I don't have it, I'll tell them I'll at the end of the season I'll give you something. Or if my gloves are completely ruined, I tend to give them to them if they ask. And I think that helps. And it might just because I'm in goal and I'm the closest one to the pitch. I don't know what the reason is, but it is nice. I am touched by it every time.
Okay, and the other bit I wanted to go through was social media side of things, because obviously when you're at a game, it's there and then. The game then finishes, but it doesn't always finish in terms of what happened with the result, if you had made a mistake, if the team have not played well. When you get stuff on social media, what's your reaction to it? Do you blank it out, or do you go through it? How do you approach it?
Now I blank it out. I just ignore it. Like some of it, if it's funny, I tend to join in a little bit and I kind of like put a like on it and stuff. I never really comment back unless it's ridiculously funny and it's like, and I can comment back and I'm not going to get any backfire from commenting back. Are
you aware of that then? So when you look at a comment, you think,
of course, no, of course. I've learnt that over the years, and you just think I play non-league football, and I get it bad, and you just think what's
it like at the
what's it like at the top? They must get bombarded every second of the day, but then it's different because they have people that manage their accounts. I don't have that. But yeah, like for instance, like I could do something on the pitch, and the fans won't like something. Say for instance, it's the dark arts of football. Every keeper does it. Every team does it. When you're 1-0 up and you've got 5 minutes to go, of course I'm gonna fucking time waste. Of course I am.
Every time I'm watching you and I see you go down, here we go.
Is that
it's 10 more minutes wasted.
But do you know where that's come from? Why I'm so good at it? It's because when I was at Gosport, we didn't have the best team.
So you had to do it.
We didn't have the best team, and we knew that.
Was that to win them some more rest? Was that fatigue reasons?
Because our team was old. We like, I was younger at the time. I was like mid 20s, early 20s, but most of the other lads. We had a guy called Aaron Cook, unbelievable. I played with him for a season. He played at Crystal Palace. He played at Portsmouth. Skip. He's unbelievable, but he was older. Played at centre back. He wasn't going to run up and down. And other lads like Brett Pope, they were experienced players. And we had Gav on the right hand side, a right back, and he was old. Grandad, to be fair.
You're one of them now.
Well, I am a war hero now. But back then, it was like every time I got the ball, they used to turn around, slow down,
slow it down,
slow down, because like we weren't the best. We didn't have the best. We didn't have the best players, but we had the best team.
Was that something that came from the manager to say, look, we need to slow things down, or was that something that you just thought this is going to help the team?
No, that's something that come from the players. That's something that come from the players, and pretty much every time we went 1-0 up, or there was a time to slow things down to give the defenders a rest, I did it every time. And every club I've gone to, obviously the quality gets better, and the players get fitter and younger, and more players tend to look after themselves. That kind of stopped. I didn't do it all the time. It only did it when
game management when he needed to.
Exactly, but I was good at it. And there's little things that I do. It's a disgrace because now it's got to the point I don't even get booked anymore. Hardly anymore. I used to get like 10, 11 yellow cards a season, but now I barely get.
I saw you only got 2 last season.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
What's happened here?
I don't know, but it's just little things like we played. I done one at Wrexham, so obviously Wrexham is Wrexham.
Yeah.
When they play at home, they're the boss. They do everything. So what they do is not every club does this, but they've got ball boys that have a ball in their hands. So they're allowed to have balls in their hands, and if the ball goes out of play, they throw it to one of the players. So I was like, I'm not having this. This is outrageous. Like we're 1-0 up, and then it goes to 1-1, and we're getting battered. Basically, we're getting battered towards the end of the half, and this come from the gaffer as well. Like he was like, if the ball goes out of play, kick the ball back on play so they can't go quick, because they tend to go throw-ins really quick. They've got a guy, Tozer, who throws a ball a mile. If they get things quick, and then because they love to play football, if the ball goes out, just kick the ball back on the pitch so they can't go quick. Yeah. So remember, I done one. The ball went out, and the ball boy had a ball in his hands. And the ball that actually was in play went out and went back onto the pitch. But I asked for the ball boy for another ball, and he threw me the ball, and I didn't even count. I just let it run past me and ran after the other ball. So now there's 2 balls on the pitch.
Slows it down, yeah.
It just slows the whole game down. Because they're the best. They're the best team in our league, and
I mean, they were. Yeah,
they're a joke.
Notts County.
It's just little things like that, and obviously fans hate it. Fans absolutely hate it, and then I tend to get a load of shit on social media, and it is annoying. But then again, I do get a lot of good things on social media, so it's kind of 50-50. But yeah, I try to tend to ignore the shit that I get on social media, and if there's something funny on there, I tend to. And if I know I'm not going to get nothing back, then I can send something back as well, which is kind of funny, and it's all light-hearted.
Okay, so there is one thing I'm going to read you, because we were just talking about fans, and this is from, this was over 4 years ago now, and this was the headline in the Sun. There was chaos at the end of Boreham Wood's 0-0 draw with Ebbsfleet at Meadow Park in the National League. When the full-time whistle sounded, Ebbsfleet goalkeeper Nathan Ashmore jumped in with the home fans in an attempt to confront abusive fans. What happened there?
So,
Because this was big. This was
it was
everywhere.
big, and funny enough as well. I done that, and then another thing happened at Maidstone. I think it was Alacobi. He ended up jumping in the fans as well because he got racial abuse as well, and that didn't go as big. And he's played in the Prem, the guy. I think mine went so big because I don't know why. I honestly I don't know why, and I think the papers did twist. They made it out that I was the one doing it all, and I did it for no reason. There was a lot of things, mate. Mentally, I wasn't doing great at the time, and I admit that. I wasn't doing great at the time. A lot of things off the pitch was happening, and football wasn't really going great at the time. We wasn't getting paid on time at the club. The manager that come in, I as a professional, I would say like he had a job to do, but as a person, my own personal opinion, I didn't get on with him at all. I didn't like him, and he didn't like me, and I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. I just recently had a new child, and when you have a child, things change. Your opinion changes. I don't know what it is. Something just changes in you. And I got abuse, and I flipped. And I've been taking abuse my whole career. Yep. And then this was the first time that I got abuse, and some of the things that it was getting called. And because I had a newborn baby, I just flipped. It
triggered.
And it triggered something. I am in the wrong. I admit. I sent a statement to the FA. I admit I am wrong. I am wrong jumping over. I should never ever put myself in that situation to jump over. And I should have just done what I normally do and just laugh about it and just shout some abuse and leave it as that. Even shouting abuse is wrong, but I admit I should never ever jumped over the stands. And as soon as I'd done it, I regretted it. The instant, as soon as I'd done it, I was like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" And then I just stood there, and then just carnage broken. But I learnt from it. I'll never do that again. I learnt a hell of a lot. And the weird thing is as well, it happened at Boreham Wood, and it was with Boreham Wood fans.
And now you're at Boreham Wood.
But now I'm at Boreham Wood, which and like I said, I go in there and I turned everything around, and now the fans appreciate what I do for the club, and I love the fans, and the fans love me. So now we have that respect for each other. But yeah, it was tough. There were some things that I got said, and I just had enough. Mate, and I just couldn't take any more.
With that as well, obviously you were interviewed on Talksport, BT Sport, Sky Sports. When that happened, did you think this is my time now to speak up for what's going on? Because it happens every other month. I mean, Vinicius Jr. had it a few months.
Yeah, the Vinicius Jr. one was a disgrace. I'm not gonna lie. That I remember it blowing up on Twitter, and then I watched the videos after, and the referee did not help in that situation whatsoever. And obviously the fans, what they would do, it's a disgrace. Honestly, it makes your blood boil. It's that bad.
Do you think racism will ever end in football?
Oh no, I've said this in all my interviews. It will never end. Never. You can try and do as much campaigning, and like let's just think of we've done this last 4 years, the amount of campaigns and stuff. It's still happening. You ain't never stopping it. You just got to try and prevent it from happening as much and as widespread. But like I said, when I was doing interviews, like you said, at Talksport and numerous other, I'm glad that I spoke out. But it's different. Football's it's a funny game, mate. Because I've spoke out, but now I have the tag of I'm an outspoken person.
Yeah.
So it's great that I did speak out, but now it's kind of, this could hinder me to go and get another move elsewhere, because managers, chairmans, whoever else who's thinking,
they look at that as an issue.
No, they look at, he's great on the pitch, but what's he like off the pitch? He's a little bit outspoken for me. He's done this and he's done that and he's done that. So yeah, it's good that I did speak out, but I think it might have affected me getting moves elsewhere in the past. But I don't regret it at
That's
all.
an interesting way to take of it, because I think when that happened, I remember when it happened, I was gobsmacked. I was like, what has happened here? And I thought, you never reacted. I've seen you have to put up with a lot of abuse.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a clip, and this is how far it went. I remember somebody threw a banana at you on the pitch, and you literally just picked up and started eating it. That was your way to react to that ridiculous racial gesture.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we're both black, mate, and we're kids, and we both used to go down the park together, and we used to laugh about it. And I think that was just in our nature. But I just think when you get older, and there's only so much you can take. There is literally only so much you can take, and getting bombarded by messages and fans and everyone else, like walking down the street. Like, we've walked down the street and there's been some stuff shouted at us when we walk. We're just walking down the street, and
doing nothing. Yeah,
doing absolutely nothing, and we get battered. And you just think, what the hell's going on here? There's only so much you can take. But yeah, like I said, like I don't regret speaking out, but I do feel like
it's in the thoughts.
Yeah,
thoughts of others.
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
And in terms of, because mental health has become definitely a lot more spotlighted in the last, I'd say the last 5 or 6 years, particularly in sport and men's mental health. Is that something now you're a lot more aware of as compared to when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, for sure. Listen, when you're a kid, you've got no worries in the world whatsoever. You just run around like a headless chicken and do what you want. And mum, if you've got mum and dad or either or, they look after you. And then you get to do and just carry on. They bubble you, they shield you and stuff. So you just get to do whatever you want. It's not only until you get older and you just start thinking, oh, Christ, I've got to deal with this now. But yeah, it is hard, mate. Like, yeah, it's tough, mate.
I was at an event at Fratton Park, and I can't remember his name. I think it was Greg Miller from the Sports Academy.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how the young players now, so obviously players won't make it. You know, 90% the players out there won't make it.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
So what they do now is there's a training program which is set up by the National League and the Premier League for all the leagues, where they say this is what you need to sort of be showing them. And it's basically preparing them for release. It's not preparing them to become anything. It's preparing them for life after football.
Yeah.
How helpful do you think that would have been if you were a kid now? Do you think it takes the pressure off?
It's it's either way, because that kind of level you're only getting at in the Premier League, maybe Championship, some League One clubs. Not all clubs. That's not going to be the whole board. It's a great idea, of course, but then are you teaching them for failure before they've even started? So it's kind of a catch-22. Like, yeah, it's great that you want to build them, make them mentally strong if it doesn't work out. But then it's like, well, if you're teaching them it's not going to work out, they're already thinking, oh, it's not going to work out. So, yeah, it is good. But I feel like it shouldn't just be them. It should be the people around you, which I've learned over the years as well, that if you have people around you that they can help. They're just as good as professionals as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you known this years and years ago, I would definitely pay more attention to mental health. Like I said, I've had my issues in my career, which all players do.
Yeah.
And it's all about recognising it and trying to do something about it, and which I did. And it definitely helped for sure. As
you're older now, and obviously you're captain, is that something now you look out for in younger players?
No. I think this comes naturally to all players when they get older. Not necessarily vice captains or captains, whatever. I think this comes naturally to most players that get older, because you just want, as you get older, you just want to pass on some sort of knowledge. Like I was close with a couple of young players at Boreham Wood this season. Top lads. They're both. Well, one was just moved to a League One club from Sheffield, and another one is still at Sheffield United. And we got really, really close. And he saw me as like a big brother, father figure sort of thing. And I didn't intend to do that. It was just how it happened.
Natural, like mentor.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a great lad, great footballer. And for me, as I'm getting older, I'm proud of giving him some, even if I didn't even give him a lot, like just a little bit vice here or there and stuff. And it's great when you get players look up to you and stuff. And I think as you get older, that comes naturally anyway, because you're coming at the end of your career. And if you can pass something on to the lads that are coming through, something that you've learned or someone's done to you. Like I remember playing for Havant, my first game, Havant against Chelmsford, shitting a brick.
Why?
I don't know why. It was my first game. It was a Conference South game, and I think I was 19 at the time, and I still get nervous now. Every game I still
really,
of course, yeah. I still get nervous now, but that game particularly, I was playing for the first team at Havant Waterville, and it was a Conference South game, and it was against a team who were very good that had loads of fans behind me. And I just remember getting ready, and I remember sitting, I'm shitting a brick here. But there was one lad, Gary Alfick, his name is, big bloke, massive, central defender, nicest guy, massive, absolutely huge, the guy. And I was sitting down, and he was doing his bits. Everyone was literally just about to go out. And he looked at me, he come and sat down next to me, and he said a few words. He was like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was just a case of like, just do what you normally do. Like, don't worry about, because you're young, you're playing because you are playing, or what. I can't remember what he said. You're playing because you're good enough, or he said, don't do anything stupid. Don't, just do the basics. Like, look after you. Something on them lines. I can't remember, and it stuck with me for my whole career. And it stuck with me that bad that I started to do that to younger players. Yeah. Something that he done to me, I've passed along to someone else. And that's the kind of thing, when you get older, that's the kind of things that you want to pass down to the young lads. It just comes natural. Because that stuck in my head for my whole career. So that's what I've done. That's what I've done in the past, and to help younger lads.
Amazing. Right, we touched upon the fact that you are getting older, and obviously you are a lot older than me. It's 5 months. It's a long time. Okay, and the thing we want to talk about is, so as goalkeeper, you can go on for longer.
Yeah.
How long do you think you've got on your legs? And when you do finally give up football, is there a plan?
I should have a plan, but I don't, to be honest. I'd like to go into coaching. What sort of coaching that is, I don't know. I'd like it to be goalkeeping, obviously, but there's so many different variations of goalkeeping coaching that you can possibly do. Which one I do, I don't know yet. Like I said, I'm still playing. I want to play.
That's your focus?
Yes.
Yep.
I want to play as long as possible. If I keep myself fit, and I'm still playing, the main thing is if you still enjoy it. You wake up and think, I'm playing today, or I'm looking forward to playing today, and getting your kit ready, or whatever it is. If you still enjoy that, then carry on playing. And until your body just goes, no, that's it.
Enough.
I've had enough. And I'll continue to do that. Like I said, I'm 33. I had a really good season last year.
Team of the year. Yeah,
team of the year. Conceded the least amount of goals in the National League, with Notts County and Wrexham in the league. Obviously, it's not all just me. It's a team thing as well. But that's a great accolade to have.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, of course. I want to continue to play on. I've got another year left at Boreham Wood. Hopefully we can finish the job this year. We got so close last season. But I'm focused on playing for Boreham Wood, and we go from there, man. I want to play as long as possible.
Amazing. So we talked about some of the headlines, which probably not the so nice headlines. It was a couple of seasons ago when you played. Well, you were in the squad for Boreham Wood versus Everton in the FA Cup. And obviously the game was all about build up, how Everton are hosting a club in the non-league. The picture which came out obviously in the Portsmouth News and everything down here was nothing to do with the game. It's nothing to do how shit Everton are. Nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It was you and Navia on the front, and Navia is Nathan's daughter, my goddaughter, with her holding the Pompey flag. That was the image that was used. And I remember watching in the pub because at the time I think you had an injury, so you weren't playing. So I just stopped watching and just got I just got pissed. And then I remember somebody in the pub just knocked me out, and they went, "Oh, Nathan's on the TV." I went, "Oh, okay." So I thought maybe you're warming up or something, and it wasn't. It was literally you guys with the fans, stood in front of the hoardings with the flag, and it was just beautiful to see. And you could see how much love the fans had for you there.
Yeah.
What's it like taking her to football? And is there any part of you that tries to shield her from certain situations at a football match? Because obviously it's barely in your control because you're on the pitch.
No, of course. She doesn't go to as many games now. Obviously, if you've all got young ones, you try to get her into a routine. It's carnage, won't that? She does. It's just carnage, mate. I'll leave it as that. But obviously, she goes to 2 or 3 games. But yeah, I love. It is good that she comes, but it's hard because she's young. She's young, and all she wants to see is daddy at the start, daddy at the end, and then she's bored for the rest of the game because she don't really know what's going on. So it's hard. It's hard. Obviously, you like everyone wants to bring their kids and stuff, but it's hard. She's young. She doesn't really have a clue what's going on. But yeah, it's hard, mate, because the Everton game was. Yeah, for sure. I'm gutted I didn't play, but I knew I wasn't playing before the game.
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't playing 2 weeks before the game because I had a long-term injury. I got injured literally 5 months before that game. I done my rec fem, so it's a quad muscle, and it literally come off my hip bone. So it detached from my hip bone. So I had to get an operation. So I was out for 5 months. Which I was gutted because I was playing really well at the time, and then got this injury and I was out for 5 months. But I come back really really strong, really well, and my aim was to come back and to get on the bench at least at Everton. I wanted to get on the bench, and I got on the bench for literally a couple of weeks before that for my birthday on a Tuesday night. And I was buzzing because that was one of my goals. Because I know you're out for 5 months. You can't just expect to come back from a 5-month injury.
When you're out for an injury, do you look at the fixture list and go, that's the game I'm aiming for?
Yes and no. So obviously, the first you have to wait for your operation. That takes weeks. You have to wait for recovery from your operation, which takes another month at least. And then when you start going into the gym and when you can start to able to do the rehabilitation, that's when you're like, right, let's have a look at not fixtures as such, dates, and then what dates come aligned with the fixtures. And I remember picking out a few dates, and then one of the dates was my birthday on a Tuesday night against Torquay. And that was one of the roundabout dates that week or the 2 week gap that I wanted to come back, and then it would have been like another couple of weeks before the Everton game. And I managed to do that because my rehabilitation went really well. I was ahead of schedule, not by much. I was only a couple of weeks ahead of schedule. Trained, went really well. And then that's when it's like, well, I've done all this time, done 5 months coming back, and now I'm not playing. That's the next part. That's the hardest part. But you can't do nothing. You can't go and knock on the manager's door while I'm not playing. Yeah. I want to play, because that's the totally completely wrong thing about going around it. So it was just a case of I just had to bide my time, and I was really close. I'm close with the gaffer, and I spoke to him throughout my injury. There were loads of players phone me up, and I was still engaged with the team, so I didn't feel out of it. And I spoke to the gaffer. This is the kind of date that I'm looking at, and then he was like, "We'll try and send you out on loan." Trained, felt really good. Was on the bench for 4 games, including the Everton game. But I knew I wasn't playing. But I spoke to the gaffer, and when I said that these are the dates I'm looking at, and then I spoke to him a couple of weeks, and he was like, "You're gonna be on the bench for Everton," and I was grateful, because that was one of my goals from the injury, and he didn't have to do that. And I knew I wasn't going to play, but the fact that he still allowed me to be a part of it, and I travelled up with the team, and the day was great. Obviously, the result wasn't great, but for the lads that did play, and they all played unbelievable. Even the keeper played. They had a great game. All the lads had great games, and it was great. And obviously, my little one was there, and then I just thought, I know what I can do. I can get a bit of limelight here. Let's get a Pompey flag, get her on the old Pompey flag. And
so you're aware of it then?
Oh, yeah.
He went for it, milked it. Yeah, of course he did.
No, of course, no, of course. But
it was beautiful to see. It was
of course. I'm proud. I'm proud to be from Portsmouth. Like I travel up to London every day. I always try and keep an eye on Portsmouth scores. All the lads know that I'm from Portsmouth and down at Pompey. But yeah, like I said, I'm just proud to be from this area.
Talk about this area. Just down there, Commercial Road, obviously beautiful place. We've got a little story which I thought you'd like to share. And I'm not going to say too much other than Loire. So I just wonder if you want to tell our viewers what happened with Loire.
Oh, mate. How funny is that, by the way? Honestly, what the hell? It's the most random. Honestly, it's the most randomest story. Like, this is we're talking like when we're like 14, 15. Or was it?
It was, yeah, 14, I reckon.
So all we used to do was just go to the park, play football, go around each other's house, play PlayStation, be up all hours at stupid o'clock in the morning.
Get up, play football, do it again.
Basically, yeah, just a cycle of just crap, basically. And then we decided, like, we've got no money. We don't have jobs. We can't ask mum and dad for money. Like, you can't ask your mum and dad for money. I couldn't ask my mum for money. So we was just like, I don't know what we do. We just sell our games. So then we decided, because sometimes we used to sell our games to go and to buy a football.
Yeah.
Them crappy ones in Sports Direct that cost £3 that lasted for about 5 minutes.
Well, somebody would boot the ball over a fence, and then we wouldn't have a football. Like, right.
But yeah, so then we decided, like, we need some money. So then we took a PlayStation. Was it PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2? I think it was PlayStation 1, wasn't it? Yeah. So we had a PlayStation 1 between us. We had a few games between us, so we went into Commercial Road, and there was a place called Game Station. You used to have to go in there, buy second-hand games, and you could sell
trade them for games.
Basically, you could sell crap in there that you didn't want anymore. So we're like, let's go in there and get some money. Went in there, got all that out of the bag. He was looking at it. He goes, yeah, that's cool. And then he was like, you need to be 18 to sell it to us. We're like, what? So it was like, you couldn't have told us that after, like, unpacking all this crap we've just got in this big bag. So we had to put it all in there. So we was like, well, what do we do now? So then we're walking through the town asking randoms. I'm talking randoms to go in there. Like, obviously,
they're probably still down there, no, Commercial Road.
No, yeah, probably. Like, you're talking, you've got two black geezers with a bag asking people, can you go and sell us something? It don't look good, does it?
No. Looking back on it, no.
Looking back at it don't look great. But we end up seeing Loire. And like, if anyone who don't know who Loire is, he's a professional footballer at the time, and he played for Portsmouth. And I can't remember if he was on loan from Newcastle at the time, or he signed for Portsmouth. Whatever it was, we see him down there. He had an entourage of people, and we both literally looked at each other and was just like, "Oh my God, should we ask him?" So then we both went up to him and asked him, "Can you sell our PlayStation? Can you sell our PlayStation for us?" And he didn't. I can't remember if he didn't even speak. Was it his entourage or something that spoke?
I can't remember. I just remember him walking out.
Yeah,
with a brand new PlayStation.
Yeah. And I think he had about 4 or 5 people with him, and one of the other lads was like, yeah, no problem. So we walked in there with him, and we've walked in there like there's no boys, but we're there like that cushy, like, you ain't gonna tell us no now, are you? Look who we got. And he ended up buying a brand new PlayStation, didn't he, that day? Yeah. And then we were just standing there going, oh my God, is he gonna sell our PlayStation or what? So we asked the other bloke, he goes, no, it's cool. So then we end up giving our PlayStation to him, and then the guy who served us originally looked at us like, what the hell? And then he was sucking up to Luai, and we Ted just started laughing and just going, yeah, have that then, mate. Like, have that. We got Luai to sell our PlayStation.
And then we made a massive 25 quid from Luai selling our unwanted games. And then we bought a goal, Nathan.
Yeah.
And what happened with this goal?
Well, we built it.
Yep. We did build it.
We used it a couple of times.
Yep.
And then it got stolen.
Yep. It got so yeah, all of that, and it got nicked. But we didn't lock it up. We didn't, dismantle it and put it somewhere sensible. We just left it outside. That'd be all right. And yeah, it got nicked. So I don't know where. Yeah. So basically, we weren't very clever. At 14 years old.
No, we clearly wasn't. No,
right.
We clearly
So
wasn't.
great story. I have got some very random questions that people sent me to ask you. So we got a little bit of time, but yeah, let's get through these. So quick fire question. So if you weren't a professional footballer, what would you be?
I would be in the forces.
Yeah, which one?
Probably Royal Marines. Funny enough, it's funny when I first got my contract at Havant Waterville. I remember I signed it at college because the college was linked up with Havant Waterville, and the manager come in and I signed my actual contract, £50 a week at the college. But a week before that, I actually went down to careers office, literally over the road. Yeah, literally over the road where we are now, to join the army, and it was kind of like I didn't know where my career was going with football. And I didn't know I didn't know what was happening. So I thought, do you know what? There was a couple of us that wanted to join. So my mate went down there. I went down there, tried to get some information. I was going to join the Royal Marines. And then a week later, signed a professional contract.
So it's all worked out that way.
So it worked out, yeah. So I could have been in the Royal Marines.
Okay, next question. Longest in the showers? Current team or previous, I guess?
Mate, I've had loads. There's been a few. there's been a few. There's been a few that predominantly most of them are black.
Great. Okay, we'll leave that there. Do you have any pre-match rituals or superstitions?
Yes, I do. There's a few things. I try not to go too in depth because if I had this conversation at the weekend, the goalkeeping weekend I just had this weekend just gone. Sorry, if you have too many, and I use an example, a guy who I said this to, if you have too many rituals, too many superstitions with warm-ups, especially because every keeper's different. Every keeper has their own different types of warm-ups before a game. And if you go too much into it, you get too fixated on a warm-up or whatever, or a superstition, what happens if you turn up late to a game and you hit traffic and then you've only got 15 minutes to warm up? Then what happens? Then what happens to your ritual? Then what happens to your superstitions? So I try not to go too much in depth and have too many superstitions. So I tend to, I have a few, like I pack my bag in the same way, but that's more that I know I've got everything. Okay. So I pack my bag the same. I put my gloves on the same. I put my left one on first, put my right one on first. It just makes me feel, I can probably change it, but it just makes me feel comfortable. Right, Kushti, I'm ready to go. Touch both posts and the crossbar when I go out. I say a ritual before every game. Like I said, I get nervous before every game. It's not nervous, I'm going to be sick nervous. It's just that nervous, like, excitement and...
To get on the pitch.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen and that excitement and that nervousness. But before every game, I say like a little ritual of things to get me into that zone. And then I'll play the game. So there's a few things that I do.
Okay. Okay. Top 5 goalkeepers of all time.
Of all time, God, we could be here all day. But off the top of my head, for me, it's my idol, Peter Schmeichel. You have to put David Seaman in there. I'm going by from what I've grown up with, not before, because you can say Peter Shilton, numerous Banks, you can say numerous other keepers, but I'm just going from what I grew up with. Peter Peter Schmeichel, David Seaman, Kasper Schmeichel, just because what he's done at Leicester, it's ridiculous, and his rise,
incredible,
of where he got to, because he'd done his trade. He's gone out of Scotland, he's gone into League Two, League One, Championship, won the Prem, won the FA Cup. Now he's in France, and to do that consistently, I think is
especially with the pressure of having your dad as the greatest goalkeeper.
Exactly, and now it's not so much. He's not. Not Peter Schmeichel's son-in-law. He's made his own name, and he's won his own trophy. So them three definitely. And in today's football, I've always liked David De Gea. Always have done.
Got a lot of stick this season.
He's a lot of stick, but he's still played good. Still won a trophy.
Would you stick by him if you were United?
For me personally, I would. I would definitely stick by him. But now, because of these new generation of keepers are playing out from the back, you can't. Alisson and Ederson,
different world.
Them two are a disgrace. They are a disgrace. Honestly, they're a joke. They take it to a completely another. I thought David De Gea took it to another level. When he first come here, obviously he had to get used to it, and then I remember. I think I watched the game with you. Man United versus Chelsea. David De Gea was having a torrid season, making mistakes, making this. He had a stupid, silly haircut, and he pulled off a save. I think it might have been one matter
free kick.
And he pulled a save that it was unbelievable. And that save, I believe, watching it, changed his whole perception, and everything changed for him that game. And then he went on to be Man United's greatest keepers. So he can be in the top five, and then also the two, Ederson and Alisson, I can't pick between them. One of them, I don't really care who. One of them.
I mean, they're both class goalkeepers,
they're both
aren't
silly,
they?
yeah.
Okay, here's one that'll get you in trouble. Most overrated player you've played with?
Oh, there's... Oh.
How many is there? Is there that many?
There's not many. There's been a few. But the thing is, it's not players that you stay with the whole season. It's tend to be players that come and then they go. So it's like, how the fuck are you here? Type of thing. Not so much now at our level. Back in like United Services at Gosport, a little bit haven't. But yeah, some of them I can't even remember their names. But yeah, there's players that come to you, or they turn up at training and you think, what the hell? Is it bring your mate day today or something? It's one of those ones. But it happens everywhere you go, mate. It happens everywhere you go. Not sorry if you don't want to batter anyone.
Yeah, avoided that one. Okay, so how do you find downtime to relax, and what do you do?
Obviously, you spend time with girlfriend, Natalie. Spend time with my little one, Navia. I do have a tropical fish tank. I do. Right. It's a marine fish tank. I do like stuff like that. So I do have 2 clownfish, Finding Nemo fish. So I do have them. So that yeah.
How often do you sit there and stare at them? To
be fair, I stare at them every night. Yeah, it sounds terrible, but
do you ever take them to game?
No, not yet. Maybe I should do. To be fair, I'll tell you what you've done in the past.
What's that?
Where you've put stuff in my bag once. You stayed round, and I had a game the next day, and I've opened up my bag, and then there's a picture of you in there. I'm not talking a small picture. I'm talking a massive picture of you on top of all my equipment.
Just to motivate you, mate, to get you ready.
And I'll look at it and I'll just think, shit. Why is that there?
Mate,
why?
Did you win your game?
I can't remember. Probably. I played a PlayStation 5. Watch films. I'm a movie buff as well. Obviously spend time, catch up with you and stuff, but we don't get a lot of time, mate, because I travel into the game, travel to Boreham Wood, and we train, travel back. Within that time, we don't really get. Once you come back and do other various bits and bobs, the downtime is just basically just chill, and try not to go mad and doing everything. But I try and
Do you try to chill out more now that you're older as compared to when you were younger?
100% more into recovery now. Like I did start this last season where after a game, I tend the next day we have Wednesdays off. So if we've got a game Saturday, Tuesday, I'll tend to do a rest day. Like me and Natalie go for walks down Southsea. I tend to, if she's working, I will go on the bike and just have a light recovery session or go for a walk, whatever. And obviously don't eat ridiculous amount of stupid shit.
You like your food, so
I do, but I've got a hell of a lot better.
I don't actually believe that.
It's just pure chicken. That's what it is.
Just chicken.
Yeah,
right?
It's pure chicken.
Okay, a few more questions left. So, favourite thing about the city of Portsmouth?
I love it. To be honest, I love everything about Portsmouth. Like I said, I'm very proud to be from Portsmouth. I love our history of Portsmouth. Obviously, people that live here saying, "Oh, Portsmouth is shit, Portsmouth is there," but I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And I think I've valued it more because I was one of those people that when we're younger, Portsmouth is crap and this and that when we're younger. But obviously, Portsmouth has changed over the numerous years. There's so much stuff they've put so much money towards the city of Portsmouth. It's great to see. And obviously, the football team's doing okay. We've got a good owner. We're not going to get liquidated like in the past. But I feel like I've valued Portsmouth a hell of a lot more since I've not played football in the area. Since I moved to Ebbsfleet.
Is that because you feel like you're looking from the outside sometimes?
100%. And obviously, most of the lads that I play with are predominantly all London based, and it's all London teams and some are up north in that. But I think I valued more loving Portsmouth more and being from Portsmouth. Playing not in Portsmouth.
You do not get a lot of time to enjoy live football matches. Would you like to go to more games if you could?
Yeah, I know, of course. I'd love to go and watch Portsmouth play, but obviously I can't because we tend to play at the same time, Saturday at 3:00, or if there's a midweek game, it tends to be on the same day. I didn't manage to go to any games last season. I went to 2 the season before. And I did go to the Johnson's Paint Trophy final, which was an unbelievable day.
Sunderland.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was unbelievable. It was a great day. Honestly, got the train up there. Got absolutely hammered throughout the day. Got the train back, and obviously Portsmouth won it. And it was an unbelievable game. I actually had first goal scorer. I said to my mate, I can't remember his name, the free kick. And I said to my mate before the game, I said, anyone's got to score, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. Obviously, he didn't bet on it because we're not allowed.
Right.
No, we're not allowed. We're not allowed. But I said to him, first goal scorer, it's got to be him. And he actually did score first. Unbelievable. It was an unbelievable game, great occasion. And it was extra time and we won on penalty. So you got the full range of the whole game.
Yeah. No, amazing. I think the last game I went to was literally England-Kosovo when we went to watch St Mary's.
Oh, yes, mate.
I think I watched 2 Portsmouth games.
I think that's the first time I've watched England, and that was a great game. I was in awe of Sterling that game.
He was amazing, wasn't he?
He was right near us, wasn't he? Because we were quite low, because Southampton Stadium is quite compact. Compact and condensed and that. And I was in awe of him. Absolutely in awe of him.
I remember Harry Kane did nothing, yet scored a hat-trick somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, mental.
Got home, he's like, what do you mean he scored a hat-trick?
Yeah.
We watched the whole game. I don't remember him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, but Raheem Sterling was amazing. I remember it looked like the ball was glued to his feet. He was just running rings around everyone.
Different kettle of fish, mate.
So, obviously, I got some weird questions as well in. This is probably my favourite out of all the weird ones, and I'm intrigued to get your answers and why. God, can't wait to tag them in this.
Yeah.
Snog, marry, avoid. Roy Hodgson, Steve Bruce, Big Sam.
Oh, dear Christ. They're all lookers, aren't they?
I reckon Big Sam could give a lovely cuddle in bed, to be honest.
Snog, marry, avoid. Snog, marry, or avoid. I don't know. I was going to say avoid Roy Hodgson, but he speaks multilingual languages. Yep. And that could work in your benefit.
For what?
I don't know. When you're on holiday.
Right, okay.
Steve Bruce, because of his nose. He's broke his nose about 15 times.
Yeah.
So I'll probably avoid him. And out of all of them, he probably is the most boring out of all three of them to have a conversation, to be fair. Probably kiss Roy Hodgson because he's got experience, obviously. And Big Sam, I'll marry Big Sam because his what is it? His bonuses for keeping teams up are really good. So I can
Sponge off him.
Yeah, I'll sponge off him and take everything what he's got.
And he has got 100% win record at England. So
there you go. What was it? One game?
Yep.
Russia?
100%.
Yeah,
So,
lovely. See that?
there we go.
Hey.
Okay, last one. Messi or Ronaldo?
For me, they're both unbelievable, aren't they? They're both they're a joke. If they didn't have each other, I don't think they'll be as good. Because they have each other and they have that rivalry, they have the utmost respect for each other, they've just taken football to another planet. They are not the same player. They're two completely different players. But for me personally, it's Ronaldo.
And why would you say Ronaldo?
Just because I just it's something about him I just love. I love his. It's not arrogance, but it slightly is a little bit. Like he knows he's the best. He wants to be the best. And some of the stories that I hear, like the Rio Ferdinand one, where he said he beat him at table tennis, and then Ronaldo's off.
Went and bought a table.
Went and brought a table tennis, practiced table tennis, come back a couple of days later training and whipped his ass. Like that's a different kettle of fish of mentality. Like that's stupid. And I like that. I really do.
Now that obviously Messi and Ronaldo have got to the end, because obviously Messi's gone to America, so he'll just do absolutely nothing over there. What's it now? Mbappe and Haaland, is that going to be the next 10 years? Or do you think there's any other players who could even get close to Ballon d'Or sort of status?
No one is ever, I don't think in our lifetime, no one in our lifetime is getting anywhere near them two. But the only two players that can get there is as you said, Haaland. Haaland's 22. Mbappe, what? I don't even know how old he is. 24? I guess. Or might even be younger than that. I don't know how old he is. But them two have got the pathway of coming close. I don't think they will get anywhere near the numbers that them two have got.
I mean, their numbers are a joke, aren't they?
But yeah, but if the only thing, like I said, the only thing with Haaland is it is international. Norway are going to struggle to replicate what Portugal done and Argentina done. France.
Yeah, I think Mbappe's already got the World Cup.
He's already got the World Cup
also,
already.
I mean, scoring a hat-trick in a World Cup
and
final
losing.
and not winning.
Imagine growing up and telling your grandkids that, I scored a hat-trick in a World Cup and we lost.
I know he's young, but I would have just retired there and then I was like, what's the point? Most hat-trick in a World Cup final.
Yeah.
Not win. Oh.
But the thing is, what's going to be hard for both of them now is their motivation. Their motivation to keep them going. And this is the reason why Messi and Ronaldo are so good, because they had something to motivate. They had each other to motivate each other. They want to outdo each other. They've got their own personal aspirations, whatever it was. They kept on going. And they're both going at the age of 38, 39. Ronaldo wants to play till he's 40, 41, which is ridiculous. Even though he's playing out in wherever he's playing, but he's still playing. And he's getting stupid.
And he's still fit.
Yeah. And you look at, like... It's a joke, honestly. That they take it. No one's ever reaching them two. But if there was two players, you got to say Mbappe and Haaland are definitely in that category.
Okay, Netflix series to watch when you're bored.
No, mate, I've got someone I love. I'm a bit of a movie buff, series buff. I can't just pick one off the top of my head. I think I end up searching longer for trying to search for something longer than watching a series. At the moment, I'm watching Harry Potter because they're on Netflix at the moment. I love Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel. Love a bit of Marvel. The recent series I watched was Poker Face on Sky. Crap.
Really?
Yeah, crap.
Cool, I'll tag them in this then.
Yeah, please do, and say I didn't watch the last two episodes because it was crap.
Oh dear. Okay. So we're obviously just talking about those great players: Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Haaland. All of them have something in common. None of them have ever scored against you, but I have. So I think that's important to highlight there.
No, you're right. It is.
This is true.
Yeah, that's true. True stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
Yeah,
facts right there.
It's a fact. You can tag them all in that. And I mean, but they didn't get a chance to either.
Yeah.
I think I've asked everything that I was going to answer, but the last thing I wanted to ask is, is there any tips out there for anybody who is, let's say, in our world, they're influencers. Some of them are pretty bad. Some are pretty good, but we do have a few in Portsmouth. Is there any words of advice you would say to them that they need to avoid when they're on social media, or be careful what they're saying? What would you say to people who are in the spotlight in some shape or form? What would be your advice when it comes to social media?
Oh yeah, good question, mate. They're influencers for a reason. They have an opinion, and people love their opinion. That's the reason why they get so many followers. And you've got to be busy when you're an influencer. You've got to be on it all the time. That takes some doing. Like, I can't even do that. I think I don't put much on my social media. It's because you have to be on it all the time. It's hard because you want to have your opinion on things, but because of everyone else's opinion, you're gonna upset someone. You're gonna upset someone later down the line. It's just you have to be careful of what content you put out, and you don't offend someone. You have your opinions, stick to them opinions, and try not to piss people off too much. I quite
enjoy pissing.
Yeah,
people.
I know. Yeah, but there's a line. There is a line. You can piss people off, of course, to get a bit of content out there, because everyone loves a bit of confrontation. You listen to Talksport. It's the reason why I love listening to Simon Jordan. Sometimes he can be a bit of a helmet,
but he provokes.
He prods,
gets people.
He prods, and he has got a new podcast now. It's brilliant. It's you see him in a different light. It is really, really good. And that's another thing. Like he does what he does best, and he has an opinion. He sticks to it. He never backs down from his opinion. When he's wrong, he admits when he's wrong, but he never crosses that line. There's always that line. I just think if you're an influencer, just never cross that line.
Okay. Last one, final one: personal goals and club goals for next season. Because you're in pre-season next week.
Yes, mate. Yeah, we go back Saturday, and then we're away for a pre-season camp as well, which will be tough. Be good. Obviously, see the lads again, the new signings and stuff to get involved. That'd be really good. So that starts Saturday. This season obviously is promotion. Always the goal.
Do you think it's different now, where you haven't got those juggernauts of Notts County and Wrexham, because they were ridiculous last season?
They took the National League to another level. Them two.
Why is that only the top one that goes up?
I don't know.
Actually,
I do know the reason why. It boils down to years ago, where it used to be the Doc Martens League, whatever it was. I can't remember. If a team from League Two got relegated, the chairmans or the owners of the clubs basically had a vote whether they wanted to get relegated, and they voted if the team from the non-league go up. And after the time, they would say, no, they're staying in the same league. And then it changed to one team goes up, and then two. So I think it's basically come from that, and I think they have to reshuffle it, because I think one automatic at our level, it's hard, mate. It's stupid, I think, because like I said, if them two didn't get promoted, it would have been absolutely criminal.
Yeah, Notts County was 105 points, and imagine if they didn't win the playoffs.
They both scored over 100 goals. It would have been criminal if they both don't go up. We were so unlucky to lose to them as well. And obviously, of course, they were lucky. They were all but a couple of minutes from getting knocked out from Chesterfield. We're very unlucky. But like I said, it would have been criminal. But I think it has to change. There has to be two that go up automatically. Apparently, they're in talks about it. It might happen not next season, the season after. I don't know. But the teams that get promoted tend to don't come back down for a couple of years, and the teams that get relegated don't go straight back up. So it shows how good our level is at the moment. And I think there's only two teams left that are part-time, and the rest are either hybrid or full-time football now.
Do you like what Wrexham have done to the league? Do you think it's positive?
Yeah, no, of course it is. Obviously, it's not unfair. it's, mate, it is what it is. An owner's come in, pump loads of money in, class, and every club wishes it happens to them, but it's not like that. They obviously had history, and whatever the reasons were to buy Wrexham, of course it's good, because how much limelight have we had this season just at our level?
Yeah, phenomenal.
Like there was a game Wrexham played against Notts County, and it finished. I can't remember what the score was, but Foster saved the penalty in the last minute, and they end up winning. They end up beating Notts County. I think Man City were playing the same day that day. The National League had more views than the Man City game.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Not by much, but they had more views. And when does that? It's non-league football.
And also they got sponsors like TikTok, and like they've got
mental.
some massive
ESPN,
sponsors.
massive. You go to America, everyone knows Wrexham now. Like they link football to here, Wrexham.
Yeah, the whole brand.
It's unbelievable what they've done. Unbelievable.
Did you watch their documentary?
No, I didn't. No. I didn't watch it. I went to go and watch it, but I just didn't get round to watching it, mate. To be honest.
What if an owner came in to Boreham Wood and said they were going to spend whatever money they were going to spend it on? Where do you think they would focus first, or where would they need to in order for Boreham Wood to just?
Do you know what? The chairman's doing that already. The chairman's doing very well. We've got an unbelievable pitch. We've got good stands. We're progressing as a club every season. There's plans of redevelopment around the ground already. We've got training facilities. So that's all. It's pretty much happening already, mate. Obviously it's not the riches of what Wrexham have, but you don't always need that. As long as you've got someone who's very focused and passionate about the club, and that's someone that we have, and you can only be blessed by that.
And you've got some incredible pre-season games coming up as well.
Yeah, we have, mate. Yeah, I think we've got Arsenal, West Ham, Brentford, Chelsea, and a couple of teams league below us. And I think that's it. I don't know if we might get run around by their kids though, but
Hey, you're playing against them, so it's a good.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, Nath, it was great to have you in. Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it, mate. It's been a pleasure.
I think we could have kept speaking. I think this is going to be the longest podcast we ever record.
We could be here for another couple of
I
hours.
definitely think there's going to be some editing. But no, it was great to have you in, and really great to get your sort of
I appreciate it, mate.
your knowledge on things,
really
and for you to speak. Top 4 next season in the Premier League.
Top 4 Premier League. Oh, mate, that's hard. Man City first or second. Liverpool.
Think Liverpool come back?
I think Liverpool. The signing of McAllister, silly. And I think it's a building process from last season. They need to rebuild. They didn't make Champions League this year, did they? They're in Europa.
Yeah, Europa. Yeah.
So not as hard a game as it is in the Champions League. So that might help them a little bit. I think Newcastle won't make top 4 just because of the Champions League. I think they could.
The distraction.
I think they could possibly finish 5th or 6th. Chelsea, I don't know. I have a clue what the fuck they're doing. I ain't got a clue. Tottenham, terrible. Tottenham are terrible.
Is Harry Kane staying at Tottenham?
For me, do you know what? For me personally, I'm going. If this was me, Harry Kane is now in the best situation ever. Because if you remember a couple of years ago, they had some sort of handshake agreement that he could go, and then he put a transfer request in. Everyone went mental, and then that all happened very badly. And I think, did he hand in a transfer request in again last year?
I think so.
And then
if he doesn't go this year,
that ended
he
badly.
could go for free.
Exactly.
Next season.
So Harry Kane is in the best situation ever. All he's got to do is, I'll stay for one more year. I'll go free at the end. Or you sell me for 100 million right now and I'll go now. As long as he doesn't sign a new contract, he's golden. But then again, if he stays, I would be questioning his ambition because he hasn't won anything. Fair enough, he's an unbelievable player, top goal scorer. He hasn't won anything. And you look at the players, like you look at the Leicester players, they've won a Premier League. He hasn't. They come close once, and that was to Leicester, and they fucked it against Chelsea. For me, whether Tottenham will sell him to a Premier League team, if Real Madrid come calling, how can you return that down? How can you turn down Real Madrid?
Especially, I think Mbappe's going to go.
You
probably
can't
this season.
turn down Real Madrid ever, because that would never come back again. So I think for me personally, I think he has to leave and go to Real Madrid. And then if he stays, he go for free.
Yeah, I think Shearer will be happy if he leaves because he's getting that top goal scorer.
So top four. Sorry, Man City, Liverpool, Man United, third or fourth, and then Arsenal, third or fourth.
Okay, interesting. So you don't think Arsenal will be up there again?
No. They have to improve a hell of a lot. They come close, but you could see they come close, yes, but they're still a million miles away from it.
Okay. And of course, the only London team that won a trophy this year, West Ham, who finished 15th.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Who had a better season, Arsenal or West Ham?
Look, I think Arsenal had a great season, but nobody's going to remember a great season without a trophy. West Ham can say we won a trophy. No one's going to question them going, where did you finish in the league that year? In 20 years, no one's going to ask that.
Yeah.
I was like, and you know what I was really pleased for West Ham is because David Moyes had a lot of shit this year.
Yeah.
It was sack him. And he went on and, and it was good for him as well because I think
definitely.
he got knocked when he was at United and he had a great career at Everton. So for him to win a trophy was good to see.
Yeah.
And also for an English team to win, it was great. To see City win the Champions League, to watch West Ham win it, England sort of dominated because it was all the Italian clubs in the finals for Europe. So to see the England teams do good, it's always great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Me personally, I think you're right. I think West Ham have had technically a better season than Arsenal. Like they finished second. You don't get nothing for second. Even though they say it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, still a European Cup. European Cup, sorry.
It's still a trophy in the cabinet.
It's still a trophy in the cabinet. Like I said, it's great for David Moyes and obviously Rice lifting up a trophy for West Ham. It's unbelievable. But what do you think from a Man United fan? What do you think of Man City doing the treble? Is it better or is it equivalent?
Because
who would win out of the two teams?
Man City easily.
Yeah,
I think the second team would probably be him. I mean, you got to think. United's treble team had players like David May.
Yeah,
but I think at the time, to win the treble in any season is amazing.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
But their depth, Manchester City's depth, is just ridiculous. Yeah, their second, third team could finish top two.
It's like you take off Grealish and bring on Riyad Mahrez. He gets in any team in any Premier League.
Yeah,
team.
I mean the only player I just don't understand. Calvin Phillips is just won a treble and he played like 3 games.
What about Scott Carson? He's won 2 Champions League medals.
I saw a video of Scott Carson, and he's doing a Mickey take of when the England players in the squad.
Oh my God!
Are getting their call ups, and he's like, "Oh, he hasn't called me." I wonder why, Scott. I wonder why. He's like, I've not had a call in like 15 years.
When John Stones when he picked up and he goes, "Oh," and he starts running off into the change room and says, he ain't called me yet.
He must be busy.
Must be funny, mate. Yeah, funny. Do you think Man City could do the quad?
I mean, the scary thing is they should have done it last year, but got stopped by Southampton. Nathan Jones, like really?
Oh yeah.
But I think I saw the odds for this season for them to win the treble again. They're not bad. But then, like I said, that the thing is, I know this is where like Liverpool or United or Newcastle struggle. Manchester City could have 3 games on a week. They could have Champions League, 2 Premier League games. They could play a different squad for each and still be the favourite to win the game.
Yeah.
They're just so formidable. And I think, they get a lot of stick because people say, they've done it with money. Every club's had money. They've all, Premier League clubs have all got money. Look at Newcastle. They still had a great season. Nobody's knocking them for having money. But Pep has done something incredible there.
Oh, you're joking.
And I think the Champions League was destined this year. As soon as they won the FA Cup, it was like, you're going to do it. Yeah. There's no way Inter Milan are going to stop you.
Glad that they've done it. I think it's harder to win the treble now than it was back then. It's still an unbelievable achievement. You can't. They're both equivalent. One's not better than the other. But
just different eras.
Just different eras, of course. But to do it in this era, where most of the teams are like every Champions League game now is hard. Yep. It's hard, and you've got to have a bit of luck as well on the way. But to do a treble now is absolutely frightening.
I don't think so. Even when Arsenal did their invincible season, there is so many moments I remember that season really well where they should have lost.
Portsmouth, even Pommy fans still
the Robert Pires dive.
The Robert Pires dive.
But when I look at City and we're talking about you need to have a bit of luck, they just bombarded teams like every team. There was not a single game I looked at. No, they were lucky there. They just spanked them.
Yeah.
You know, when they beat Real Madrid, was it 4-0?
Oh, they're a joke.
It wasn't even
They
close.
were
It
a
wasn't.
joke.
You know, the final wasn't lucky. They're not lucky with. They're just a good, well drilled team. They just always want to win.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, you know, Grealish obviously having a
Grealish,
great season this year.
I love Grealish. I love everything about him.
I think he's done brilliant this year.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable season, and for him, it kills me where he gets battered on Twitter, like people moaning about him having a drink, and instead the geezer just won the treble. Like have you seen the picture of his body? The geezer's got zero body fat.
Well, apart from his calves.
Yeah, apart from his calves.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but he's had the best season of his life, and he's won the treble. Footballers work for 8 months of the year. Or to be fair, 9 months of the year, because at the top they've only just finished, and some teams go back to pre-season. They only finished last week, so you think they work for a long period of time for the whole year, and for him to get battered for 3 days only.
he was just enjoying himself, right?
100%.
And then he went back to England duty anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, arguably, I still think he's still pissed now.
Yeah,
but,
100%.
you know,
Let him enjoy it. Let that whole squad enjoy it. Even like Roger, he doesn't even drink. Apparently, I read a couple of stories, and even he had alcohol.
I mean, you're talking about pre-season. They're going to go back to it where they're just going to be robots again.
You think Pep Guardiola, a manager like him, is going to allow him to come down? No, he wants to go again.
I keep trying to end this podcast, but I've got to keep getting questions. Right, is Pep Guardiola the best manager now?
Oh, he's certainly in that conversation.
Do you think doing the Champions League at City has put him there?
Yeah, like he's certainly in that category of you, like elite. Like I love Jose Mourinho. I love him. I think he's
won everywhere he's gone.
Exactly.
Well, apart from Spurs, obviously.
Yeah, but no one can fucking win at Spurs. Fuck me. But for Roma, to win a trophy at Roma Europa Cup last year and then get to the final this year and lose on penalties, like you've got to bring in Sir Alex Ferguson as well. Like just them four alone.
Yeah.
They're on another planet.
Ancelotti.
Arsene Wenger.
Wenger.
Carlo.
Yeah.
Don Carlo. Like, there's only a select few, and then I think them a select few, and then I think it's like Sir Alex, as much as I don't really like to say it, Sir Alex and Pep.
And obviously Klopp as well, what he did at Liverpool.
Exactly, yeah. But I think Klopp's still got a long way to go to get into that elite
yeah.
top table. But yeah, certainly Pep, just to what he's done for the English game, and just inventing new formations that no one's ever even heard of.
No, and they just run rings literally round people. Exactly.
So he's up there now as the best manager on the planet.
Yeah, I mean he's done a fantastic job. Take him at Boreham Wood. Were you happy with you?
Nah, I wouldn't take him.
Only because he wouldn't put you in the squad.
No,
like, this keeper can't play with his feet.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't boom it.
Right, we are definitely going to end there.
Oh wait, I've got one more.
One more what? No, I don't. I haven't got any more. Pub. No more. Nate, thanks for coming in.
No, I appreciate it, mate.
This is definitely the longest podcast we're ever going to have. That is for sure. Been a pleasure having you. Good luck for next season.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very
hope
much.
you win promotion, and I'll be round to bully Navy again soon. Although as she's getting older, the bullying has changed hands.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's probably bullying you more like.
Yeah, it does happen now. That's a shame. Thank you for coming in.
No worries, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you.